This is National Native News. I'm Brian Bull, sitting in for Antonia Gonzalez. Last week, more than a dozen tribes commented on a proposal by the Trump administration to let developers obtain preliminary permits for hydropower projects on reservations in spite of tribal opposition. KJZZ's Gabriel Pietrazio has more.
This new rule would apply to projects like dams, reservoirs, and pump storage facilities, all overseen by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, which, under a Biden-era rule, does not issue such permits without consent. That independent agency is now being asked to change course by Energy Secretary Chris Wright.
He put tribes in the same sentence as third parties. And what that tells me is that there's that lack of respect.
Stuart Koya-Mtiwa is the Hopi Tribal Historic Preservation Officer and commented on behalf of his tribe. As for their neighbors in northern Arizona, the Navajo Nation thinks dialogues with future developers have improved.
What we've seen is contrary to, I think, what was included in the letter for the request for rulemaking from the Secretary, that the policy has not, in fact, hindered development on the nation.
Navajo Acting Assistant Attorney General Erica Perot, who penned their brief, wants an extension. Tribes had only 17 days to reply while dealing with the longest U.S. government shutdown.
We received notice of this October 27th. It's been a pretty tight turnaround.
For National Native News, I'm Gabriel Pietrazio.
Young Native people from across the country are gathered in Seattle this week, developing their leadership skills and discussing tribal issues, including sovereignty and policy making. They're taking part in the National Congress of American Indians Youth Convention, which is being held alongside NCAI's annual convention. Shania Wachinio is an 8th grade student from the Saboba Band in Southern California.
I'm with TANF program from Saboba and just going to the conferences to learn new things. Learning other Native American tribes, their traditions, and what other people, like their stories and everything.
Crystal Williams, vice chair of the Coushatta tribe of Louisiana, says it's important to have young people be part of NCAI's gathering.
To me, it's very important as a tribal leader. I've been in this for a decade now, and it's so important for me to make sure that our youth know about leadership, how to run tribes, because they will be, the ones that are going to be handling this here in the next 10, 20, 30 years. So I am an advocate for youth, in leadership. So I feel like we have the responsibility to teach them as much as we can.
161 young people ages 14 to 24 are attending the youth convention. They're also encouraged to attend the main NCAI general sessions and meetings to hear from tribal leaders from across Indian country. Both events run through Friday. And on this day in 1895, the Nez Perce Indian Reservation in Idaho was opened up to white settlers. After encroachment, war, and a gold rush compromised the previous treaty's defined boundaries, prevailing white sentiment deemed the unfarmed and undeveloped areas as surplus, leading to the further breaking up of lands held by the Namipu. And it's also the birthday of Wilma Mankiller, born in 1945. She became the first woman to be elected principal chief of the Cherokee Nation. A lifelong advocate of Native and women's rights, Mankiller said she was largely inspired by the 1969 occupation of Alcatraz by indigenous activists. She died in 2010 with friend and feminist icon Gloria Steinem by her side. This is National Native News. I'm Brian Bull.
National Native News is produced by Koahnic Broadcast Corporation, with funding by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Support for law and justice-related programming provided by Hobbs, Strauss, Dean & Walker, LLP, a national law firm dedicated to promoting and defending tribal rights for over 40 years. More information available at hobbsstrauss.com. Support from Clarkson Potter, publisher of Turtle Island, Foods and Traditions of the Indigenous Peoples of North America by Native American chef Sean Sherman. With ancestral and modern recipes, this cookbook showcases diverse foodways of the continent's regions.
Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.